everyone, NACI here at Your Pro Kitchen on Panama City Beach. We're at a shared kitchen and culinary incubator, and I have a great recipe for you. I don't know about you, but on Memorial Day weekend, we smoked a lot of meat. And with that meat that we had so much extra meat that we had to figure out what to do. So I came up with this really, really great recipe that really kind of takes a southern type of comfort food and kind of elevates it a little bit. And so what we have today is a smoked chicken pot pie with curry. And I just want to show you how to do it. So here's all the ingredients that we need. We need some pre-made deep dish pie crust. We need two packages of that. We need about 3 cups of smoked chicken breast. We need some green beans, some peas, some onions, 1 stalk of celery, 2 carrots, and half a potato that's cubed. Then we need about 6 tablespoons of milk, 2 cans of cream of chicken. You can use any kind you want, as well as we need the secret ingredient that kind of elevates this dish is curry. You can use any types of curry. You can use any curry paste that you might have in the fridge. You can use curry powder that you might have in your pantry, or you can go out and get some. And don't worry if you have some extra, because you could use curry powder or curry for all different kinds of dishes. I mean, today we're putting it in pot pie. Some garlic powder, some salt, and some pepper. So that's all you pretty much need to get to fill your pot pies, and I'm going to show you how it's done. So let's get started. I did some chicken, but I need a full 3 cups of chicken, so I'm going to chop some of this up. We want to cut up the chicken just enough, thin enough, so that it's not too chunky in your pot pie. And then I kind of like it more like home style, so I kind of shred it up a little bit. Okay, now it's time to get started with the awesome filling. You could just eat the filling on its own, but it is better in the pot pie. All right, so on a medium-low heat, I've got this pan kind of heating up, and we're gonna start off with a little bit of extra virgin olive oil. There we go, get that going. Then, we're gonna add some onion, which is about this one here is about 2 tablespoons of onion, 1 stalk of celery, 2 cubed carrots. We'll get that going. And you can start smelling the carrots and the onions and the celery kind of in the air. And once you can start hearing it simmer just a little bit or kind of sweat out a little bit, then you can add the potatoes. There. You can start seeing the onions bubble up a little bit. See it? See the little bubbles? That's what you want. You want the oil kind of bubbling just a tad. Now you know that your pan is hot enough and your vegetables are going, so let's get those potatoes in. I've got these potatoes cubed and soaking in some cold water. That way it doesn't get brown, especially if you want to pre-prepare in the morning when you don't have time to do it right away. You could pre-prep your potatoes and all your veggies until you're ready, but make sure you soak your potatoes in some cold water, okay? I forgot to mention how many potatoes I have in here. All I have here is half a potato. We go. Now the trick to cooking the filling for this pot pie is getting the potatoes cooked enough to where the color actually changes from a bright white to almost like a translucent. As you can see, the potatoes are starting to change just a little bit of a color. The starchiness is going to begin to go away, and that's ultimately what you really want, is for that starchiness to go away. So now it's time to add the seasonings, because you can see that the potatoes have already, most of them have changed colors. So we want to add a coat of salt, a coat of pepper, and a coat of garlic powder. Now after you've added this coat of seasoning, then we want to lower the temperature to a very low temperature. Now it's time to add our cream of chicken soup. We want 2 cans of cream of chicken soup. And these 2 cans plus all these ingredients will actually make 2 packages of pot pie's crust. Fold the vegetables in and add 6 tablespoons of milk. Let the cream simmer a little bit, just enough to where the milk congeals with the rest of the cream. And then now it's ready for its secret ingredient, which is the curry powder. Now remember, if you have curry paste will do just the same if you happen to have some of that. But in my stash, I had some curry powder. This one is a Vietnamese curry powder, bought. And I really like it, and it stays in the pantry for a long time, so I get to use it whenever I feel like adding some spice to some of my dishes. Start off with 1/8 of a teaspoon of curry powder, okay? 1/8 of a teaspoon, and then taste it and see if you want more. For those fans of curry, some people want to put at least, or I would say to put at least 1/4 of a teaspoon. There are a lot of people that don't even know when they taste this pot pie that there is curry in it, but they know there's something different about it. And ultimately, curry is just a number of different aromatic spices mixed together. And they're all kinds of curries: yellow, red, green. Whichever one you like is the one that you should use. Or experiment, try something new. Now I'm gonna turn off the cream filling, and then I'm gonna fold the chicken in. There we go. It smells so good. You can smell the smoked chicken, you can smell the curry, you can smell everything in here. The celery, everything in this. The smell of this, you could smell it all over the place, and I know it's killing that cameraman over there. He's just going, mmm. Now here's the trick, okay? You can't know if it tastes good unless you taste it before it goes into the pie. Because ultimately, if you need more salt in it, you like more salt, then you gotta add more salt. If you want a little more oomph to it and add more curry, you gotta add more curry. So now it's time to actually taste it. Let's see. Well, so you could slightly taste the curry, just enough. I think it's perfect for someone who gets started with curry. You can taste the smoked chicken, and I don't prefer my things to be very, very salty. So for me, it's perfect. You might want a little bit more to it, and if you wanted to add something else to it, go for it. Check out and see what else you have in the fridge. Some other vegetables. If you have some mushrooms, you might want to put some in there as well. It's totally up to you. But this is the great basic recipe, but add that curry and use that smoked meat. Now it's time for us to make the actual pie. So what I did is I bought these ready-made deep dish pie crusts It comes in packages of 2, one for the top and one for the bottom. And with this recipe, it makes 2 pies. So here we go. Here's the pie. We're gonna put half of this filling. Let's put half of this batch in one pie crust. Right there. That's not in a good angle, but that's okay. So this is a trick of mine because my family actually does not like a lot of peas or green beans. So all I do is I just take a few green beans and spread it out so it's not too much at one time, and a few peas, and not spread too much. So this is what you could do, and you could kind of just spread it in there just a little bit so I could get a few veggies, green veggies in there. Just enough. And then I kind of smush it in there. It's like a little trick. And it's all spread out, and it's not all in one place, not with one piece. There we go. Now it's time to do the tops of the pies. What you do is you take off the crust, lay it on a little mat, and it's okay if it tears apart just a little because we're gonna re-roll it. You can use a little bit of flour just to ensure that it doesn't stick. And this is all I do. I'm not a baker, but I am a home cook, and this is all I do, is I just roll the edges over just to kind of get that shape enough to cover the pie, and then I roll it with a rolling pin. I know it's not very pretty, but it tastes dang good. Here we go. It should be big enough to put over your pie, and then just flip it over, turn it over like this. Let it rest on the top of the pie, and then start pinching. Do a little pinch here, all the way around, just like that. See? Nothing fancy, but yet it's got a sense of sophistication because we have smoked meat in there. We've got some curry in there, something that's not usual in a pot pie. Now we'll do it to the second one. So here we have it. We have our pies already made. Now all we have to do is vent them. Basically what we have to do is vent the pies so that when you bake it, there's air. And there's a place for the heat to be released. And what I do, like I've made a vegetarian pie for somebody, and what I did is I put a big V right in the center just to know that it's the vegetarian pie, because you know what you could do after this is you could actually store it in the freezer. All you have to do is wrap it up in foil, store it in the freezer, and then save it when you're ready to cook it, so you don't have to cook it right away. I'm so excited to check out the pie. There you go. So I'm going to take this off, and as you can see, the little protector helped. I didn't even take off the protector. I hope you enjoyed the video. I know that you can make it too. So if you like it, comment, like, or subscribe.
And on top of the ribeye, we have more chicken wings.
It's gonna be a long night.
Yeah, it's fine. I got a lot of whiskey.